1, 2, 3, 4.
So the van is done. It's not done in terms of like 100%, but in terms of like big projects, it's done. I don't want to show you guys yet though, because I put a lot of time into this video and I put a lot of time into building it. So hopefully stick through. If not, skip to like the 9-minute mark, and I'm sure there'll be some cool shots of everything. The episodes after this will probably just be like in a Walmart parking spot or like on a mountain or something. I might be in some weird places. So leaving my parents' driveway Wednesday, and I'm going to Colorado and I'm going snowboarding. So we're gonna keep the uploads coming. I hope you enjoy this episode. So I had some nice time lapses of me setting up my printer and like cutting this in and running the lights, but my SD card got corrupted. So I'm gonna give you a rundown of what I've done. Filament is in here, just unspools through that track. It's kind of nice. That's working pretty well. I hung this. That's looking great. That's a trim piece I printed too, because it is just a black piece of wood that I Sharpied right here. I got this in. I don't know if I showed that. Yeah, and I'm doing RGB lights now. So I'm a big fan of RGB lights. And I didn't realize like how cheap they were until I bought them. It was 16 bucks for 33 feet, which is absolutely crazy. I haven't bought them in a while. I also bought some wire, like 4 pair of wire and solder and heat shrink so I could like connect them. And then this really like, it makes it look good when you don't have them like exposed. I do have some parts like under the cabinets, like I eventually want to diffuse everything, but I'm gonna do that hopefully on the road with my 3D printer. Soldering took some time, but it wasn't too bad. Just make sure you have like a fine tip soldering iron.
That looks pretty sweet. Oh my god.
So we got this lighting option or this lighting option, which this one looks pretty good too. The under cabinet and that don't really go together. You can't really tell. But this one's cool. This one's really cool. Here's the front too. So I'm working on diffusers right now. So look how clean my countertop is. Oh my gosh. Oh. So I had a monitor. It was a nice monitor, but I drove with it and it fell. It didn't fall like off the counter. It just fell. It tipped over. And somehow it broke. So my friend Walter, he gave me this new monitor. The resolution isn't as good, but it's curved. So I'm gonna mount it to the wall. My dad got me a mount from Menards, and I basically threw everything away that came with it, and I'm just using this arm now. But I have to 3D print a mount to get it on the back, to connect this arm to that. But it's hard to design something when you're using it, to like design it, to mount it, to design it, to... Anyway, just give me a second, I'll have this mounted. It was like 25 bucks on Amazon, but I didn't want to buy it, so I made this with like 6 cents worth of plastic, and that's gonna connect this to this, to this, and then it's gonna be on the wall and it'll swivel out, so. So that being said, this is a good time to talk about how much money I have saved while building this van. Basically, if it could have been 3D printed, I 3D printed it. I hardly bought like anything for the van. Most of the time because it wouldn't work for my application, and I can design something for cheaper and better than like if I were to just buy it store-bought. So it's also like quicker. You just get it faster. You can put your name in it. It's kind of cool. I 3D printed like all the camera mounts, all my speaker mounts, even like cable clips I 3D printed when I ran out. Guitar mounts I 3D printed, battery mounts I 3D printed, cup holders I 3D printed. I still have to find spots for a few things, so I'm gonna 3D print that. This is me working on the transfer switch. This was like the last thing of electrical I had to do, and I was putting it off for forever. So now that that's done, like life should be easy. Today we're building a ladder. It's gonna go off the side, and then I'm also gonna mount that table that was on my truck. I'm gonna mount that here. So this is all the metal I have. So we just gotta make it work. These are from my truck, the topper that I built for my truck, and my dad gave me that, and then this is the rest of that bed frame. So, okay, this is my ladder. I couldn't get one long piece, so I'm gonna weld that there to give it some strength, and then that's gonna be the So this is another thing that I didn't spend any money on. I've been carrying around this metal with me bought it like a couple years ago, trying to make a couch that was electric that drove around, but I didn't do that. Instead, I made a wake winch, and then the rest of it went to my truck topper. And then I tore apart my truck topper and made this ladder. And I used an old bed frame too, which my grandma had laying around. Old bed frames are great if you ever need some scrap metal, because they're free, usually. What else? Yeah, this and the swivel seat from last episode. It's amazing I didn't spend like any money on either of these parts. Aftermarket parts for vans are just stupid expensive, but if you do everything yourself, you can actually like save some money.
So I made another soapstone holder, but the handle's in the way, so I gotta fix that now. Right there, maybe? Not liking it, but that's what we're gonna go with though.
So I had 2 folding tables, but I broke one last summer.
I don't want to.
Please do not that table. The party's up.
And I have so much counter space inside the van now that I feel like just mounting this one to the outside will do me good. This was one thing that I couldn't do by myself because you had to screw it from the outside and then put a nut on the inside. So I had my grandma help me. Yeah, it didn't take too long. So you can really tell that this is Troglio's van now. Because I mean, I have the same amount of stuff. It's just like on this vehicle now. So it really gives it like a personal touch, which I like. Here's me building my shower curtain. It's just a 1/2-inch conduit in a square, and it sits in that pan when I'm not using it. And then here's me building a helmet rack because I wanted my helmet off the counter. And it fits right underneath my 3D printer, and I think it looks good. So like I was saying, most of the big projects are done now. I'm gonna show it off here. If you skipped ahead, I'm sure you'll find it. Just listen for this music; it's pretty telling. So I probably missed a few things. I definitely haven't shown everything in this van on the channel yet, but keep watching. I want everything in my life to have a place, and I want everything in my life to have a purpose. So we're getting there, for sure. So today is 2 months and 10 days after I bought this van. I worked on it pretty much every day nonstop, and it is possible to do a budget van build in a short amount of time with everything you need in it, really. So thank you for watching. I'm going to be posting to Instagram now, pretty much nonstop, because it's easier than YouTube videos and it will gain me more followers. Because I'm going broke. I'm really going broke after spending pretty much my whole savings on this thing. But now my expenses are 0, so I cannot complain. So at the beginning of the episode, I mentioned that my SD card got corrupted, and on that I did a test of the shower. I ran hot water for like 15 minutes and it did melt, but I reprinted it with ABS, and then I used PVC instead. And so far we're good, but I don't know, I haven't done another test since, but we're just gonna go with it till we get to Colorado. Me and Mouse are more than ready to go back out west again. Everything is beautiful out there. The weather's great. So much stuff to do outside. And I want to get some pictures of the van like next to mountains, like I did with the truck. It makes the whole shot look amazing. Yeah, like I said, like I've been working on this nonstop, and like this is the episode where I'm finally gonna show it off. So let's talk about 3D printing for the rest of this episode. So I printed all the big things I need plugged into my parents' driveway. So like I think I'm good there. But I'm gonna have to finish this, like all the trim work and diffusers on the road. And 3D printing uses so much power. But me running out of power is a fixable problem. Like I can upgrade the electrical, I can upgrade the solar panels, I can upgrade pretty much everything in this van. So, yeah, this is all like version 1, everything in here. Like from the monitors to the speakers to the 3D prints to the floor to like everything. I could just keep remodeling. So yeah, I think we're gonna make it to 100. But it's been a fun 4 episodes so far. I can't imagine what episode 100 is gonna be like.